Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. We got a little bit of a different show, a different setup. If you're listening to the audio-only version, that won't matter. But if you're watching on video, I'm set up in my normal podcasting area. Probably just a one-off. We'll see how it goes. Of course, we're talking about the Super Bowl. I mean, what else would we talk about on this show that primarily focuses on football? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 31-9 in Super Bowl 55. The big storyline being, of course, Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl. Just give that a minute. Just give that, a second to marinate in your mind. Like, 7 Super Bowls. That is ridiculous. And I believe he's probably set the bar too high for anyone else to ever match it. So in this game, Tom Brady was 21 for 29 for 201 yards and had 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. The first 2 touchdowns went to Rob Gronkowski, the other went to Antonio Brown, and Leonard Fournette ran for the other score. So I just wanted to bring that up because none of those players were on this team last year. Once Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, he was able to bring them in, recruit them, if you will, and they were the ones who maybe they didn't have the biggest impact on the season overall, but certainly when it counted, when it mattered most, they were the ones who showed up. But let's talk a little bit about the Buccaneers who were on the team last year. That, of course, being the defense. So this defense played out of its mind. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Levante David. He did a very admirable job, just not shutting Kelsey down because he did have some receptions. He did play quite well when you factor in how everyone did on the Chiefs. But every time he had a catch, David was right there. He was ready to tackle. He was breaking up balls. Could have been much worse. So big shout out to him. Shout out to, of course, Jason Pierre-Paul and Ndamukong Suh, former Dolphin. He won the Super Bowl finally. I know a lot of people don't like him. He's a dirty player. I do like him. I think he has a lot of grit. Some people say that's just evidence of him being dirty. Tomato, tomato. I'm happy for him winning a Super Bowl. I think if Patriots fans can be happy for Brady and Gronk, then I can be happy for Suh. Dolphins fans, we don't have much in the way of people to root for lately. So the defensive line, including Paul and Suh, they really just made Patrick Mahomes' night a living nightmare. It was brutal. It couldn't have been fun for him. He started off the game scrambling and getting a bunch of yards. He ended the game scrambling for his life. And looking like he was pretty hurt at a certain point. So, I mean, they proved that Mahomes is human. And so more power to them in that sense. Speaking of Mahomes, he was 26 of 49, 270 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. But that doesn't tell the whole story. I don't believe Patrick Mahomes played poorly in this game. For a man who was forced to, again, run for his life after seemingly every snap, he did what he could, including 2 amazing throws, 2 of the best throws I've seen a quarterback deliver under pressure that were just dropped. One hit the running back Williams right in the face mask on 4th down, where Patrick Mahomes was lateral to the ground. He flicked it 30 yards. He is something else. He's just incredible to watch. But it really did show that not having 3 of his offensive linemen really hurt. I often hear people saying oh, Eric Fisher, he wasn't a great first overall pick when you consider all the other first overall picks. But hey, he tore his Achilles at the end of the Buffalo game in the AFC Championship, and they really, really missed him. It was apparent that all the shuffling they had to do was too much. The Chiefs looked confused. The Bucs are just relentlessly pursuing Mahomes, and it, more than anything, really affected the game in a big way. So, not to just lay this one on the offense, the Kansas City defense at times looks confused. There's a great clip of Matthew, the honey badger, on the Chiefs, thinking that he's going to have help over the top. He doesn't. Gronk gets like a free release down the field, gets a decent amount of yards, and he's just like, his hands are just up. He got in a verbal altercation with Tom Brady, who said he was going to go at him all game, and then he threw a touchdown to Antonio Brown against him. So a rough night for him, a rough night for the Kansas City defense as a whole. I think there were like 5 drives in a row where he scored. That's not going to get it done. And yeah, that's the story of how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Chiefs 31-9. I was surprised. I thought the Chiefs were going to win. I don't know if I made an official prediction, but yeah, I just didn't think there was any way that you could stop them. I was wrong. Like most quarterbacks, you can stop Patrick Mahomes if you almost sack him on every single play. So that's what it is. Congratulations to Tampa Bay fans. And we'll see. Tom Brady's coming back. I believe Gronk's coming back, he said. So we'll see what happens next year. So what does this win do for Tom Brady's legacy? When I began watching football in 2001, Tom Brady obviously wasn't the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. That was Drew Bledsoe, but that was the season where Tom Brady replaced an injured Drew Bledsoe and went on to win the Super Bowl. And at that point, the gold standard was 4 Super Bowls. Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana, each had 4. As far as winning Super Bowls went, that seemed like the most anyone could get. And while Tom Brady did win 2 more Super Bowls after that in quick succession, 3 out of 4 years, he was not able to add that 4th for a long time. He lost 2 to the Giants, and like most quarterbacks, as he got a little older, everyone was like, well, he's not going to be around forever. Will he get 4th? Will he tie Joe Montana? These were big conversations that were happening, and especially after losing to the Giants in 2007, after going undefeated for the rest of the season, it seemed unlikely that he would get there. Fast forward to today, he has 7 Super Bowl titles. That's ridiculous. Just an absolutely absurd stat for Brady. He has more Super Bowls individually than any team has, which I guess isn't that surprising because he won all the Super Bowls for the Patriots, and the Patriots were tied for the most Super Bowls of all time with the Steelers. But I think this not only cements him as the GOAT, and I think even when he won 5 Super Bowls, in my mind, despite being 5-2 at that time, despite being 5-2 at that time in Super Bowls, it just seemed like someone could win 5, but it was unlikely. Again, 4 was the standard. He won it. I know Montana never lost any Super Bowls, but Brady, I think by virtue of getting to 7 and winning 5 at that point, really set himself apart. He then made another Super Bowl, lost to Nick Foles, and brought his record down to 5-3. And I know a lot of people, made fun of him for that. It's not a great, only 2 more wins than losses. But when he defeated the Rams to go 6-3 and now defeated the Chiefs to go 7-3, I think not only do the titles matter, but the fact that he got teams to the Super Bowl 10 different times, did it with 2 separate franchises, as well as those initial New England teams were really amazing, especially on defense. He brought that team and then a completely different team to multiple Super Bowls, more recently. It's just incredibly impressive, and I don't think anyone will really even come close to matching what Tom Brady has managed to accomplish so far. So with that said, I just think we're never going to see a quarterback like Tom Brady again. But if there is a chance to see a quarterback like Tom Brady again, it's going to be the guy who he played in the Super Bowl. So Patrick Mahomes, he's the one who's on the short end of the stick here. He is on the end of Tom Brady beating Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and now the new, people are calling him the baby goat, I heard online, the new hotness in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. I said earlier in this video that Patrick Mahomes, he didn't play poorly by any means. He was hampered by a bad offensive line and a good defensive plan by Tampa Bay. So all credit to Tampa Bay in that area. One thing Tony Romo said during the broadcast was that Patrick Mahomes will probably get back to a lot of Super Bowls. If he had beaten Brady in this one, it would be 2-6, and that's a climbable mountain. But 1-7, it seems unlikely. I don't know if 2-6 would have been a climbable mountain as he implied, but I think it's premature to say that Patrick Mahomes is a lock to return here. He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in terms of pure talent, but when you say that, you got to think about people like Russell Wilson. He went to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years as a starting quarterback, and everyone thought he was going to have a lot, and he hasn't been back. You think of Aaron Rodgers, who's, we covered in the last episode, he's been the person who came up short in just so many NFC championship games. You think of Drew Brees, he only made 1 Super Bowl. Peyton Manning, he made 3, but he really got carried to 1 at the end of his career. So when you look at it that way, I don't know how you can just say that Patrick Mahomes is going to make it, because he has some things working against him. One, he signed a huge contract, and oftentimes when quarterbacks have that contract or have similar contracts, no one had a contract like him, $500 million. It really hampers the ability for the teams to build solid supporting casts, and it comes down to drafting in that sense. So that's one thing against him. Another one is just time, not an age, not only like on Patrick Mahomes, who of course is going to, like everyone except for Tom Brady, apparently, is going to get older and lose some velocity, lose some speed, lose some physical talent that makes him Patrick Mahomes, but also in his supporting cast. Kelsey, he's the same age as Gronk. I know it seems weird because Gronk started off so hot and Kelsey really seems in his prime now, but he's 32 as well. He's not going to be around forever. Tyreek Hill, he's one of the fastest receivers we've ever seen, but, oftentimes players who rely on their speed are players who burn out quickly because it is something that fades as you get older. So they're not going to be around forever. I hate to say it, but Andy Reid is probably not going to be around for the long haul, not for Patrick Mahomes' entire career. He's going to want to retire at some point. And then what? I mean, there's no guarantee he's going to get players who match the talent level of the players around him now. Coaches that match Andy Reid or Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator, who they have right now. There's just no guarantee. And I think if I had to say, will Patrick Mahomes win another Super Bowl? Yeah, he'll probably win another Super Bowl. Will Patrick Mahomes ever get to 7 Super Bowls? That seems especially unlikely. But I would love to hear what you all think about that. Do you think Patrick Mahomes is that guy, the guy who's going to push past this and win another Super Bowl? Or is this going to be more similar to Russell Wilson, who, at the time, like we said, it seemed likely that he would be back for a lot of Super Bowls, and he just hasn't for one reason or another. Leave us that comment in the comment section down below. And yeah. So that's all I had for you today. A little bit different. This will just be like 3 days of videos, one podcast just about the Super Bowl. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, talk a little bit about it. I have more content planned, including a discussion about what this win does for Bill Belichick's legacy, because again, it's an important conversation. Does it affect Bill Belichick? Is Tom Brady the reason the Patriots won all that, or will Belichick come back and win another Super Bowl. We'll be talking with Chad about that topic you saw in the last episode. That'll probably be its own podcast on the feed and its own video on YouTube. But that's all I have for you today. Congratulations to Tampa Bay. I cannot imagine what this like for the last year has been like for their fan base. Like the added Gronk, the added Fournette, the added Brown, and of course the added Tom Brady. Like that's something you do in like Madden. You just like make these uneven trades for all these star players. So everyone in Tampa Bay, enjoy this. Stay safe. Don't go out and party too much. There's still a pandemic going on. I know it didn't really seem like that, considering we packed 25,000 people into a stadium, but it's not the place for this podcast to discuss. Maybe you check out the main channel where I talk about more stuff like that and a lot of comedy and video game videos. That's at Wicked Good Everything. This channel, of course, is Wicked Good Sports. Check out our podcast channel, Better Radio, and our TikTok, also Wicked Good Everything. We're on Twitch, twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything, Instagram, Wicked Good Everything, Twitter, WG Everything, and we will see you in the next one.